In the tradition of Malcolm X, peace be unto you, pragmatic political parties everywhere, in every black neighborhood across this nation. Politicians who act with the present model of policing and law enforcement and policy formulation won't change the model. The system will always change them. Now, our immediate problem is that we do not work efficiently together in black communities across this nation, and that is self-evident. One of the divisive factors plaguing us is our identity crisis. We have deep, deep identity crises crisscrossing African American communities throughout this nation. The moment one person says, I'm Christian, another one says, I'm Muslim. The moment one person says, I'm socialist, another one says, I'm capitalist. The moment one person says, I'm Democrat, another says, I'm Republican. The moment one person says, I'm an atheist, another one says, I'm agnostic. The truth is, we are all at the bottom of a caste hierarchy, and we won't bring that caste system down until we party together. At no time in history have African American men and women been so unable to work together. At no time in history have the black bourgeoisie, boule, and black people who live at the grassroots level of society been so separated. Black academicians protect their status conferred on them by white supremacists, and they will not talk to grassroots scholars. At no time before have black businesses and black nonprofits been so unwilling to or prohibited from working together due to competition and ego rivalries or the interface or interference of white supremacist elites providing them with large cash endowments to stay within their model of social organization, which for us is social disorganization. We are too divided. We are too divided to be self-determinant at the grassroots level. We need a new approach, an approach not from the top down, but from the bottom up. We need a political party model which will work efficiently to solve our political problems. It won't be the Republican Party. It won't be the Independent Party. It won't be the Democratic Party. It won't be by a nonprofit corporation or by a for-profit corporation. We are going to have to organize pragmatic political parties in every neighborhood throughout the United States in order to address the problems that we face from police departments throughout this nation. And I've been saying this now for several months. First of all, let's talk about, well, what the pragmatic political party is not. First of all, it's not an ideology. Ideology is divisive. It is not a for-profit hierarchical organization. It is not a mythology or a religion. It is not feminist or patriarchal. It is not a fraternity or a sorority. It is not fundraising or taking donations. It is not book selling or merchandising. It is not preaching or rhetoric. It is not a 501c3 nonprofit corporation. It is not a 501c6 business corporation either. So, the pragmatic political party is the application of the scientific method by local neighborhood citizens to solve local social and economic problems which afflict them. either directly or indirectly. It is the application of the scientific method by citizens who are social activists. The Pragmatic Political Party is social action. And you might ask, well, what is the purpose of the Pragmatic Political Party? It does have a purpose. The purpose of the Pragmatic Political Party is to increase the quality of life in local environment by intentional and meaningful social action. So in every environment throughout the United States, the purpose is for citizens, for African Americans to come together and to apply a pragmatic method to solve their problems without recourse to political identities or religious identities of any kind. Ultimately, the grand result of applying pragmatic methods to solve local political problems is to generate political power. And that political power is measurable by the work that is done in a period of time by people who act in concert together. And so I want to now discuss how the Pragmatic Political Party works. How does it work? It works in a certain kind of predictable manner. Because it applies the scientific method to solve community problems. It is driven by issue metrics. Issue metrics. Issue metrics. The phrase issue metric means a condition characterized by very, very measurable conditions having to do with the betterment or quality of life in a community. So a pragmatic political party being acted out in a neighborhood is deep. It is a deep excavation of local problems that are measurable because number one, it describes the problem or defines the local problem. Number two, it explains the local problem. Number three, it evaluates the local problem. That is to say, it prioritizes what is most important versus what is not as important. Number four, by doing the preceding three applications, those persons acting within the Pragmatic Political Party paradigm are enabled to predict problems before they occur or before they grow and become a serious problem to citizens in the neighborhood. Now, there are tools that you need in order to apply the method. First, you need citizens, of course. You need citizens who live in your neighborhood. And we only focus on our immediate neighborhood to draw forth citizens, volunteers, who are willing to meet and work together to apply the Pragmatic Political Party methodology. You need pencils and paper. You need a fundamental grasp of statistical research. You need your cell phone cameras or other cameras. You need access to a computer or typewriter. And you need to know where to go once you have done your measurements. Once you've identified the problem, of course, you need to know where to go to address the problem so that corrections may be made. And that, of course, for example, would be your city council. Let me give you another example. When I was in elementary school, we had parental organizations that were called parent-teachers associations. Now, I think this is important because throughout this nation, African Americans have expressed their desire to have schools that will give their children a foundation for learning, minus the white supremacist bias that is explicit or implicit in textbooks and or expressed by teachers. The truth is that your public school is your school. It is your school because your money, your tax dollars, pay for it. You are a part owner of the school in your neighborhood. And so you have a right to contact your school and address problems that you perceive to exist in the curriculum. If you organize a parent-teachers association, then you have a foothold in the system so that you can address issues concerning education and the behavior of teachers in that school. Number one, if you want to start a PTA, a parent-teacher association, you call the principal. You ask whether there is a PTA. If not, organize one. And if there is one that exists, join it. Go to the meetings. Search for problems. That's what the Pragmatic Political Party does. It searches for problems. Review the school courses and the books used, especially history, social science, and political science. Observe what they're feeding the children too. If you are frustrated by the school, that is, they are not allowing you access as a PTA on the school premises, then go to the county or city Department of Public Schools. Set up a meeting with the head of that department and voice your demands in writing. Note I said demands. Remember, you are an owner of that school. You are a citizen. You are a tax-paying citizen. It is your school. If no action is taken, then go to the county board of supervisors or the mayor or the city council and stand before them and give them your definition of the problem, your explanation of the problem, your evaluation of the problem. And remember, always remember, the schools belong to taxpayers. So when you stand before these city councils, mayors, principals of schools, act like an owner because the school is yours and you've got to feel it. It's got to be a passion in you. You've got to understand that. We have had black mayors now for over 50 years. And our conditions have worsened. There are schools in our neighborhoods, yet we have our children, African Americans, reading at the lowest levels, failing at math at the highest levels, dropping out of school at 50% and above in many large cities. And we cannot expect to give them that step up and that advantage to survive the many problems that our community and America and the world will be facing in the coming decade. And we certainly need to address these issues along with police violence. The success that occurred with regard to the judgment on Derek Chauvin is just one success. We've got to make sure that we have a string of successes. And in order to do that, we must put aside our divisive identities and become pragmatic and organize pragmatic political parties wherever we may be. And it only takes two people to start on a street to make it happen. I am Dr. Stephen Nur Ahmed. Peace be unto you.